that we've had to box a bit smart, we've had to be a bit more dynamic and agile, and what we've figured out is rather than having permanent pasture, we're going to plant crops behind the chickens. So the first crop that we looked at was we actually put crimson clover into our hugelkultur mounds. Crimson clover, it is a nitrogen fixer, and particularly on the first season of a hugelkultur mound, you want to put nitrogen back in. There's still rotting wood that is going to actually absorb and use a lot of the nitrogen, which is going to be needed by your first crop that you plant in there. And so as a sort of substitute, or let's say a rebalancing of that system, you need to put nitrogen in, and we've chosen crimson clover. It's a beautiful cover crop. Even now as it germinates and we've only got the seedlings sort of coming out, it's a beautiful green. To that though, once it blossoms, once it gets flower, or goes to flower, it's this beautiful crimson color that we can't wait to see how that comes up. Then what we've done is we've prepped the land in places where the sheep and chickens have already been, with a combination of cowpea and buckwheat. In some places we're experimenting by co-planting, and in others we're dedicating certain patches to each of those different species. The cowpea again is a nitrogen fixer, so that's going to put nitrogen back into the soil, plus it's obviously a food. The buckwheat, I'm particularly interested in seeing how that comes out. I think there's it's interesting. So a lot of these sort of standard grains, things like quinoa and things that in certain territories and places of origin where they come from are just a very common crop, a common grain, yet somehow on export in a market they're labeled as superfoods, and they sell at a massive premium. And buckwheat's a little bit like that. It's so far we've experienced not the most difficult plant to grow, but it sells, a packet of its seeds sell for quite a lot in health shops, etc. So we're looking to harvest it for ourselves, see how much volume we can get out of it, and see if going forward that's something we want to sort of get into. But at the moment this is very experimental. We like I said are looking at seeing how else we can make the land a bit more productive. We've had to bring in a lot of feed through this winter period for our sheep, and we're just looking at different ways of utilizing the land to supplement that, either in direct feed or revenue that can sponsor the feed for the sheep when there isn't much growing. Our duckweed's also doing phenomenally well. It's really, really cool to see. We've got like full coverage on 3 ponds, and it's doing such a great job of filtering the water. Check this out. A little bit of a cover crop on the side or the banks of our little dams. I can't wait to see that color come out. We'll see hopefully it comes out strong and it looks really cool. So yeah, again, just adding nitrogen back where we can. Again, another example here of dual use of space, trying to maximize the land we've got here while you're sort of retaining an aesthetically pleasing sort of environment at the same time.